This is so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, we are sitting in a bell cart.
Only a matter of time before we get yelled at, probably.
Yep, but I think that we might be able to steal this and use it as our mode of transportation home.
We would save a lot of energy.
We would. Just like the school district, they're saving a lot of energy with different programs that they have, so.
Why don't we go check out our new energy consultant?
Exactly, our energy consultant for the district. So yeah, go check that out. It's a really cool interview.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Palisano here with Diane Herron talking about our new school district energy conservation program. So what exactly is this program?
This is a program to help everyone who uses this building, from the administrators to the teachers to the students to the custodians, help find ways to reduce energy use in the building. And by doing so, we can reduce energy costs, we can reduce the environmental impact of the school's operations, and promote a sort of a culture of sustainability throughout the school itself.
And what is your position in this?
My position, I'm a partner in a small local energy consulting company called Practical Energy Solutions. And we've done these programs for about 7 years now in school districts throughout the region. And we're partnered with a company called CM3, which has done a lot of energy efficiency work in this school as well as all the other schools in the district.
And has this program been successful at other districts?
It's been very successful. The first time we did this program, we conducted it in the Westchester area school district, and we had that program in place for approximately 3.5 to 4 years, and we were able to reduce their energy use by 17%. And in our leading school, which was Henderson High School, they actually reduced their electricity consumption there by 22%. And that's due to conservation alone. That's due to simply changing our habits in the building and changing the way we think about how we use energy.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And I know we spend money here on energy every month. Mm-hmm. How much is that around?
Well, district-wide in all of your schools, now this does not include the administration building, but district-wide you spend about $1.2 million a year on energy. And now that's just to keep the buildings conditioned, to keep the heating system going, and to keep the lights and the computers running, and your plug loads and things like that. And the Norristown Area High School spends approximately $375,000 a year on electricity alone.
Now, comparing that to our district size, is that a lot of money or is that average?
I'd say it's about average to on the good side, actually. When we took a look at your energy bills for the district, we noticed that you have a really good pricing structure, especially for your natural gas. So if anything, you're paying a little less than many other districts pay for the amount of energy that you're using.
And so if we're not really exceeding our budget, why did we institute this program here?
Well, the school district has a real commitment to reducing energy consumption, and there are quite a few reasons behind that. One of the most important reasons is the financial picture. Even though your energy prices right now are competitive, I've been in the energy business for quite a few years now, and anytime anyone asks me, well, what's going to happen to my energy costs next year? I really can't answer that because there are so many factors that affect the price of energy. And so energy can go up very, very quickly, the price of energy can. And as a result, for a public school district like this, it's very, very hard to budget because you cannot predict how much you'll be paying for energy in the years to come. So anything we can do now to control the amount of energy that we use is going to help us control and manage the budget. So that's one really good reason. Another really good reason to control the amount of energy we use is the environmental impact. Every time we flick on a light switch or leave our computers running through the night, we're using electricity. And for every single kilowatt hour of electricity that we use, at the Pico plant where they produce and generate the electricity, they're putting out pollution into the air. They're putting out particulates, which are directly linked with respiratory disease and particularly asthma in children. And they're putting out CO2, which is a greenhouse gas. And so that's a really great reason to control the amount of energy we use, is to reduce the environmental impact of the school's operations.
Yes, definitely. And what is our budget goal going to be after this program's instituted?
Well, we like to set a goal of a 10% reduction in electricity use district-wide as a result of this program. Our other programs, we have hit the 10% reduction number, or we have exceeded it in other school districts.
And how do we decide that goal? How is that figured out?
Well, we at Practical Energy Solutions like to propose that goal as part of our program because we feel that that's a goal that this district can meet. We also feel that it's a somewhat of an aggressive goal because you're going to have to work a little bit to meet that goal, but it's very achievable. So we think it's a great objective to have for the school district.
Definitely. And how are we going to actually save energy here?
Okay, well, this program is a conservation program, so it's all about the habits that we practice in the building. It's all about changing the way we use energy. So we have provided the district and the teachers and the administrators and the students with lots of tips for changing the way they use energy in the building. And now it may seem quite simple, but it includes things like simply turning the lights off if you're the last one out of a room. There's something that we call the 5-second rule, which is that if you leave lights on for more than 5 seconds, you will be using more energy than if you left them on. Now, there's kind of a myth out there that if you turn lights off and on a lot, you're using more energy than if you just leave them on. And that's not necessarily true anymore thanks to modern lighting technology. So if you're leaving the room for more than 5 seconds, it really behooves us to turn the lights out because we're going to save energy and save money. So that's one tip, is to simply turn the lights off when you don't need them. Use only the amount of light that you need. If you have classrooms around the exterior of the building that have lots of nice natural daylight and you don't necessarily need the lights, then don't use them. Another tip we've provided is to make sure that computers go to sleep within 5 to 15 minutes of inactivity, because that will reduce the amount of energy that they're consuming. And to also turn the computers off at night and over the weekends. And by that we don't mean simply putting them to sleep, but turning them completely off, because when computers are in sleep mode, they continue to use energy all night long and all weekend long. And the same thing goes for printers, faxes, and copy machines. When they're not in use, they go into an idling state or an energy saver mode. However, they're still using up to 30% of the energy that they'd use if you were actually printing or copying. So if you're the last one out on a Friday night and the copiers are still on, it really will help the district a lot to just turn them completely off. So our program involves a multitude of rather simple things that in the aggregate over all the schools in the district, if everyone practices these conservation habits, they're really going to add up.
And I hear there's somewhat of a competition going around with each school to save the most energy. How is that working?
Okay, well, we haven't instituted a formal competition per se, but what we do is, in order to keep the momentum going for this program, is that we provide a tracking report to all the schools every month, and in that tracking report, we rank the performance of every school. And so we will rank their performance based on the percent reduction in electricity use. So that's all of the schools can take a look at that ranking chart and see how they're doing. And it really, what this does is sort of incentivizes a little bit of healthy competition, because everyone wants to do well and they don't really want to be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
Okay, and will students see this list?
Yes, they will. And we'll also be providing students with posters that will be hanging in the hallways to give you an idea of how your school's performing. And the posters will have your kilowatt hour, your electricity reductions on there, as well as your savings and your CO2 or greenhouse gas emissions.
That'll be cool. And I know there's a difference between energy efficiency and conservation. Could you explain that?
I'd be happy to, and that's a great question. Efficiency is changing out equipment, lights, HVAC systems, boilers, things like that. Because if you think about, there are certain kinds of light bulbs, different light bulbs use different levels of energy depending on how the light is manufactured. And so an efficiency program is one in which you take your equipment and you typically replace it with much more efficient equipment. A conservation program, on the other hand, has very little to do with the building itself or the equipment. It has everything to do with the occupants in the building and how you behave and how you use energy, and how you use the lights, how you use your computers, how you set your thermostats. It's all about behavior. And the beautiful thing here is that this district has an ongoing efficiency upgrade project right now, where they've done a lot of work changing out lights and HVAC systems and improving the efficiency of these components. And now we're adding this conservation piece on top. And when you add these two concepts together, you can make real progress.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I know Norristown is a Pathway to Green Schools school. And what's that mean?
The Pathways to Green Schools is a program sponsored by the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and it's intended to promote sustainable school environments. And so Norristown actually became a pilot Pathways to Green school. And as a result, they received some federal stimulus funds, and they used those funds to do some efficiency upgrades like we just talked about, but also to do some really neat things. There's a green roof in place, and there's a green wall that helps reduce the solar heat gain on the building, so that reduces the amount of energy that's needed to heat and cool the building. And I believe community gardens are part of that program as well.
And is this Pathway to Green Schools countrywide?
It is. It's a national program, and this school is actually a pilot school in the program, so it's a great honor for you.
That is. Do you know if there's many schools in this program?
I don't really know.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Is there anything you would like to add?
Well, I'd just like to thank the district for starting this conservation program and wish you lots of luck. I hope you get at the top of the ranking.
Thank you very much. I'm Elizabeth Palisano here with Diane Heron talking about the new energy conservation program. Now back to the Eagle's Eye.